Hi guys, my name is Matt Kelly and welcome to my channel. I'm making this video to make a video about crypto that is mainly targeted towards beginners and how you can start your crypto journey into researching and going through all those different tools to assist you along that way. Please note that all these tools that I am showing are all free to use and quite easily accessible. Please leave a comment down below if you believe there are any other websites you believe I should review or would heavily recommend other people entering into the crypto space. But let's jump right into it. And the first website we have here is Tradingview.com. I'll leave a link to all the websites that I'm reviewing down in the description down below. So Tradingview, I've already got an extensive list of coins and commodities that I do track on a regular basis. This one that I have up here is actually the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is pretty cool. So it basically shows you the value of Bitcoin versus the market cap of all the other cryptocurrencies currently in the market. So I'll just quickly show you some of the functions that you can do in here. So one of them is to add a new coin. So say we just wanted to add Bitcoin as well. You can put on this filter here and search through, or you can use a search symbol, or you can, obviously I've already got some of them there. But if we type in BTC, which is the Bitcoin code, we'll find one. So we can choose this BitBay one. I actually haven't used this one before, so actually we might just jump into Coinbase because that one's pretty big, especially in Australia. So if we just add that one, we can see it was just added down the bottom here, and we can see this chart here. So the next thing you want to do when you are analyzing a chart is you want to recognize that there are different time periods that you can be viewing this information. So depending on what sort of investor you want to be, whether you want to be in it for the long term or you are looking for short-term moves in the market, it will greatly determine what sort of window you are looking at. So right now this one is set to now the 5-day chart where you can zoom in and out with your mouse wheel, and obviously for your long-term investments you can zoom right back to the 5-year or all sort of a graph, so you can see that over the entire period of Bitcoin it has traveled all the way down, all the way from a very, very low amount all the way up to where it's currently sitting today near the end of March at 55,000 US dollars. So just note, the currency generally when you are looking at these markets is normally tied to US dollar values. So cool. So the next thing I wanted to go through was useful views of these coins. So I found definitely setting some, if not all, the different views you can do is to make sure you have your market trade volume down the bottom here, which is here. The way you can add these indicators, you can look for them through this tool, and volume is right there. So I might just favorite that one for later. And the other one I do have here is the EMA moving, so they're basically just moving averages of the charts, so you're able to see how the market's performing versus the moving average of those prices. So I guess whenever you see it dip below the EMA moving averages, these are, I guess, accumulation points. Very, very simply, once again, please do your own research. And yeah, you'll see, I guess, the price fluctuate above and below these moving averages. Cool. The next one is these toolbars that you have down here on the left hand side. which I've found you can put into a favorites sort of bar here. So when you do go to the ones that you like, if you just hit the favorites here, they will start appearing over in the bar here. So I've populated mine with the tools that I use the most, in that being the trend line. So this one just simply just draws a line on the chart where you can change a lot of those different parameters to change thickness, color and everything like that. So that those generally change all the time depending on what sort of flavor I'm looking for. Another one is that I've used in the past, not so much lately, is forecast. So when I am buying into a coin, sometimes I like to track exactly where I've bought into it on the Tradingview app rather than continuously checking my profiles. So if I predicted the Bitcoin price to rise in 4%, I'd want to know my entry position and just see that progress there. I guess it comes more relevant when you are trying to make exact times, to compare times and price estimations, so you can see the results will actually be fulfilled if you successfully predict. So it will give you that feedback there as well. The next tool, which is definitely a must, is this horizontal line tool. This will allow you to graph your horizontal support and resistance lines on the charts, which from doing a bit of research seem to be the most accurate way to do your charting. A lot of content out there will show a lot of inclining support lines and declining resistance lines. So you might see a common thing where they start trying to make triangles like this. At the end of the day, the market is really going to be just reacting to horizontal support lines with key dollar values attached to them. So you would have seen, how long ago was that? On the 20th, we were reaching all-time highs again, or we might have actually reached all-time high again, and it was right up at that 60,000 US dollar mark. So that was a key resistance level, which Bitcoin wasn't able to break, and it's now then retraced down to its current dollar value. So just marking out key resistance and support lines like that can help you in your trading analysis of these charts. The next tool, which is most useful, would be this measure tool. So it just allows you to do basic measurements. So from that all-time high, you can see that we've only retraced about 8% when looking at the 5-day charts. Once again, you can go back to a bigger view and you can look back to, so this would have been at the peak of COVID from March last year, and you can look at the current price, which is indicated by this green line here, and you can see that approximately we've already had a 13,000% increase in the Bitcoin price in, this is saying exactly 1 year, but we know it's a bit off. So cool. We'll jump right into that, into a finer day chart. Cool. Another tool that I haven't quite perfected, I have seen other people use before, and it seems to be, I guess, a bit of a flavor in charting tools, not just within crypto but in your other assets that are traded, so your stocks and commodities, is these different charting patterns. So one of them being your head and shoulders. So this one can be found over here in the head and shoulders, and the way it sort of works is you start plotting a left shoulder, you then create a head, and then you have a right shoulder. So normally you want these to align because I guess they're making a symmetrical pattern. Obviously for this purpose it's not actually mirroring the actual Bitcoin price, but I was just, I guess, giving an example of how to use that tool. and that's how you'll see those elements shaded in, is if they are lining up parallel to that starting line. The last one here, which I'm still learning on how to use, is this Fibonacci retracement. So in all the different channels that I have been looking at, they do seem to be using this tool quite a bit, and they will use it in different cases. So from what I can see, you basically use this tool from graphing from the lows to the highs and matching it out to the highs, and it'll actually give you some key Fibonacci horizontal support and resistance lines that you can then work off. So you can see here it's lining up fairly well with some of these support lines here. Sure. Cool. So that one covers the tools that I generally use. And we'll just quickly jump into the other information that they actually do show on all these different coins. They do have these different sections here with different day trading ranges, performance on 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, year to date, and 1 year metrics, which is kind of interesting. And then they give this technicals sort of indicator. I haven't used this one too much myself, but I actually find it quite interesting that they actually have this function within here, and I'm not too sure if anyone else actually uses it. But it does give a recommendation of whether this coin is currently at a buy, strong buy, or a sell, or a strong sell, or neutral position. So yeah, if anyone's used those before, please let me know in the description, in the comments below. Cool. So moving on to the next website is Coinmarketcap. So this one is basically just a summary page in which you're able to view, I'd like to say it was like the top 100, but maybe it's 1,000 coins. It does list a lot of coins, so yeah, it looks like they show only 4,457 coins. I know for a fact that there are a lot more than that, potentially double, if not more, coins out there. Yeah, but I guess you can use this website. You can favorite your favorite coins, and then use toggles like this watch list to be able to just only view the coins that you're interested in. Just wait for this. Cool. Not quite sure what's going on here. Not really liking what I was doing there. Anyway, so if you actually click on the coin as well, this is where you can actually do further research of your own, which is strongly recommended. Do not advise just blindly going in and buying what some person on YouTube has told you to purchase. Definitely use your head, make an informed decision about what you think you're buying into, just as you would do if you were buying a house. You wouldn't just randomly buy a house that you hadn't even inspected. You want to do proper research into it with all the different factors that you want to be taking into account. So Coinmarketcap does a really good job of encapsulating a lot of information around circulating supply. You'll start to see a lot of this stuff is actually duplicated, so it also provides you graphs. You have market, historical data, wallets, news, social, so it gives a lot of recent updates about it. It also provides this really handy sort of quick summary of the coin, and when you start getting into those smaller coins, this becomes more and more relevant. They'll normally provide a link to their actual web pages, which are normally a coin.io link, and from there you can actually properly look into what you are actually investing into to see if their project's legitimate or not. But here you can see a lot of history about Bitcoin. And then the other important one is Bitcoin markets. So you really want to ensure that you are on the correct exchange before you I guess, load up money into an account and then find out that you can't actually purchase that coin because it's not on the exchange. So yeah, Coinmarketcap can give you that. If you are hunting a particular coin, it's best to go here and find where you can purchase it, on what sort of exchange. I would recommend, if you are just starting out, to hit up some of the major exchanges, and I will leave some links down below and possibly create another video onto the different trading exchanges and the advantages and pros and cons between them, into what you should be investing, because I guess they have different advantages, especially if you're within Australia or overseas. But yeah, I guess Binance being one of the major exchanges, so I guess I would see it as a more solid and reliable source to purchase a commodity. Cool. So the next section we have here is Coinmarketcal. So just very quickly, this one can be used to search for your upcoming coins, and if they are making any major releases, which I guess when you start to view the market, you'll start to see a pattern where coins, especially smaller coins with smaller market caps, when they do have a big release, you'll see everyone jumping onto the bandwagon, FOMOing in, and buying all the hype, and then as the release comes out, they'll start dumping the price. It does vary between exchange listings, whether there are new updates to the product or whether it's just a test release. So you do have to do a bit more research into exactly what sort of hype you're buying into. But yeah, once again, make sure you're just doing your proper research on each coin, and making your decisions from there. Cool. So generally as well, especially if you are jumping into some of these very, very small coins, I definitely advise just double checking the legitimacy of some of the coins, because obviously you can't go wrong, I guess, if you're buying within the top almost 100 coins. But when you start to get to past, I guess, the 1,000 mark in the crypto space, you really want to make sure you're doing proper research on those coins, because there are a lot of scammers and scam coins out there. Jumping over to the second last, chart. So this one's just a quick one. This one is a pretty cool indicator, and it seems to line up pretty well with historical data, though historical data isn't always going to be an indicator for future data. There are a lot of people providing FUD out there, or they're providing a lot of hype saying that this year's going to be different, it's going to be a super cycle and stuff like that. Once again, you have to do your own research and make your own analysis based on the commodity or coin that you're buying. So here you can see it breaks down the Bitcoin price into different stages. It's kind of funny, I guess. It's got the current situation of Bitcoin sort of hovering in between FOMO intensifiers and is this a bubble. So yes, we've definitely entered the bull run according to this, especially for Bitcoin at least. I'm not too sure about the altcoin season, but yeah, you definitely see it entering in, and I guess near the end of the Bitcoin bull run cycles is when you really start to see prices move parabolic. So yeah, I guess just trying to time this top, this might or might not be a nice indicator for yourself, especially because it does get hard when everyone does seem like they're saying diamond hands, but at the end of the day, everyone needs to take profits sometime, and you don't want to be that sucker that's left buying at the peak and just holding on and waiting another 3 years for the next bull run. The last one here is Google Trends. So this one is a great tool so obviously before you're checking out your charts and you're looking at how the charts are moving, this one will more try to give an indication of what like a small sort of future prediction into where the charts are going to be moving, just based on pure hype. So we can see definitely in the past with Elon's tweets and stuff like that, that you can definitely see markets move and swing like massively, just due to just social media influence like that. This allows you to at least track what people are basically searching for on the Google search engines, and to see what's really picking up in intensity, I guess. So I guess when you're comparing to Bitcoin, because it is the largest out of all the coins, it does really dominate the space in terms of market capitalization. It's quite hard to compare against, especially with Google Trends. So if we just remove that one, we'll actually get a more even, I guess, interpretation of where we're seeing these coins in their different hypes. So just note that they are relative to one another. So you can also just do this for an individual coin, and just searching it, and you'll be able to see where the peaks and troughs are in terms of interest in this coin, which you'll generally see line up with test releases and stuff like that. So you can see, yeah. And for this sake, I've just decided to include Ethereum, Cardano, and NFTs. Just in no particular random. They were just the top 3 coins, and then I've just added NFTs because there's a massive craze at the moment for NFTs, and it's sort of taken the world by storm, I guess. Just note, when you do come to this page, it will alternate between US and worldwide. Just make sure you are selecting the region that you're interested in. I generally go worldwide, and also looking at the day count of how far back you want to go, because it is relative. So if you go back super duper far, you will get, I guess, sort of skewed results, because especially during the bear market, no one really cares about a lot of these coins, and that's sort of represented in the price as well. So that's why basically December last year is when you really started things to start prices to ramp up, and that sort of mirrors with these interest charts. Sweet. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you can leave a like and subscribe down below, please, and yeah, just let us know any feedback in the comments below. Cheers.